Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Lori Spina, VP of Human Resources. It's wonderful to have you here for our February 2021 Samaritan of the Month Awards presentation. Reminding you that this will be telecast, if you will, through the Good Samaritan Hospital Employees Facebook page later today. So if you want to share this, which is now a virtual program and with just a few invitees, that you can share with family and friends later today. So we thank Rich Helm. He takes care of all of our audio, visual, and photography. So we're happy that we can memorialize our moment together. And in all the difficulties we have all shared over the past almost year now, it's really nice to just take a moment to pause and really, really appreciate each other and what we all bring to the table as a team. So with that, I'd just like to reflect for one moment on our mission statement. And that is, we at Catholic Health Services humbly join together to bring Christ's healing mission and the mission of mercy of the Catholic Church expressed in Catholic healthcare to our communities. And to lead us this afternoon in prayer is Chaplain Kevin Stoltz. Thank you, Kevin.
Sure. In less than 2 weeks, we enter into the transformative season of Lent. Lent offers us a wonderful opportunity to grow in our relationship with God and to deepen our commitment to a way of life anchored in Jesus' self-emptying love. Lent is also an opportunity to undergo a change of heart, an invitation to turn to God and neighbor with our whole heart, allowing God's love to penetrate those dark regions of our hearts, where we may cling to pettiness or narrow-mindedness, bitterness or resentment. Jesus' self-emptying love is lived out by those we honor today. Patricia Foley from the B Unit and the D Unit, whose staff, under the devoted guidance of Michael Tronello, embodies the very essence of professionalism, compassion, and tender-heartedness. So with our hearts fully turned to God, we pray. Loving God, you call us back to you with all our hearts. I feel your call for me deep in my heart, and I know you want me back as much as I want to return. Please, Lord, give me the wisdom to know how to return and the courage to carry it through. Make my journey back to you this Lent one of grace, forgiveness, and gentle love. Amen.
Amen. Thanks as always, Chaplain Kevin. So today we will pause and take a moment to celebrate our Team of the Month, the D Unit. Congratulations to D Unit. And Patricia Foley, RN, from D. So each month, our Samaritan of the Month First Impressions Committee gather, and I will say that we have had quite a lot of nominations coming in of late, so we'll be doing lots of celebrating in the coming months. But Patricia's nomination actually came to us through Dr. Lenny Weinstein, so it was really nice. He was totally impressed with Patricia and brought her to our attention, and he said we've shared multiple patients over many years. She's always treated her coworkers and the physicians with the utmost respect, but most importantly, her patients love her. She's been with us since 2016. She made a flawless transition to the unit and has been an asset to the unit almost immediately. She's an excellent nurse, exemplifies the eye care values every day in her practice. She's caring and compassionate to all patients, families, physicians, and coworkers. She treats everyone with respect. She goes out of her way to help everyone who crosses her path. A true team player. She's extremely hardworking, works tirelessly, especially during those last few months during the pandemic. She is everything and more one could ask from a nurse. The patients love her. They are forever singing her praises during leadership rounding. She shows tremendous professionalism, goes the extra mile each and every day. She co-chairs the unit's unit-based council and works hard to improve the unit for the staff and for the patients. She is the true embodiment of what it is to be a nurse at Good Samaritan. What a beautiful tribute, Trish. Trish, you got to join me now. Sometimes we do call on people, so this is something for
Oh,
you.
thank you so much.
Okay.
That is so nice.
And we have these beautiful flowers as wrist, okay?
Sure, of course. Thank you.
There you go. And Tracy put together some little goodies for you as well.
Thank you, Karen.
We have Karen Charlo, Sean Harris with us.
today.
Nice, very nice. Karen, do you want to join us?
Yeah.
Karen, Sean, Bruce, come on down.
I get to come on down
With Patricia Coley, yes, from the unit.
Ruth, maybe I got you on the side, sure, next together.
We got a good girlfriend going on. Wow.
All right, congratulations.
Oh,
Thank you. Congratulations.
That was perfect. So now a little bit about D-Unit, and I wanted to add today, hot off the press, are some of the voice of the patient comments too that I'll share with you. So D-Unit is a unit that specializes in both the challenging but rewarding areas of oncology and palliative care. These are two specialties that require a great deal of education, communication, compassion, and understanding of both the needs of the patient as well as their families and loved ones. The staff of D-Unit works closely with the entire interdisciplinary team within the hospital as well as our outpatient cancer center in an effort to provide high-quality patient care and treatments resulting in positive patient outcomes. The staff of D-Unit consider themselves more of an extended family than they do as a healthcare team. They value the concerns and needs of each other, support one another by displaying a devotion to teamwork, and placing the needs of their patients' loved ones, and their peers before their own, especially during these current times of COVID, when sacrifice, humility, and love are needed the most. They're a dedicated, hardworking, wonderful team, and to share a little bit of what your patients have said about you, D-Unit, the nurses were wonderful. They were kind and pleasant and did an excellent job. Always a good experience, although I was on a liquid diet of 6 to 8 days. They were kind, caring, professional, just a great group, the very best of nurses. Overall, everyone I had contact were kind, caring, professional in every aspect. Good experience, somebody said great experience. I received exceptional care from everyone I had contact with. The nurses, you are lucky to have such a great staff. And the pastoral care was of the highest caliber. I noted their kindness, not only for me, but the conversations I observed. The physical therapist was phenomenal, and I certainly gained my independence once I certainly felt better. Overall, Good Samaritan is excellent. They talked about even their ER experience getting transferred over, that you guys were in the transition were wonderful, patient, kind. Oh, and they added overworked to that. But truly, I mean, it really is nice to hear directly from our patients. You touch them in ways sometimes you don't realize, but many do share that in kind notes and cards and so forth. So it's really a tribute to the work that you guys do every day. So we salute you. D-Unit, team of the month. Okay, everybody come on down.
Giant big picture.
We'll try.
Yeah,
Present these to one of our unit
Who wants
teams.
the flower?
Jamie didn't get it.
I didn't even say who wants the flowers. Congratulations.
Go back that way. And you guys just turn towards me a little bit this way. Great. There we go.
I know.
Tip that down a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Okay, everybody right here? Good. Good, just like that, yeah. All right, congratulations.
Okay, so every now and then we travel outside of the patient care realm, and sometimes it's just helping each other out. So I'd like to ask Rich Helm to come on up, along with Tony D'Angelo and Joe Mahalik, to tell a little bit of a story. Come on down, guys. There was a sort of a last-minute visit, and we needed to pull a number of things together. And Rich Helm sent this in to us, being ever so a part of our program. And Rich, if you want to grab the certificate. I know he can be photographer and presenter all at the same time. Time for a selfie, Rich.
Well, let me explain. The bishop was coming to visit the new pediatric emergency department and give a blessing. And one of the things I have to do is set up microphones and so that everybody can be heard, and along with taking the pictures. And that day there was a problem with the outlet that I was running all my speakers to. And I cold planted because now the bishop is on the way. So I, cold plant engineering, sent a couple guys, they checked the breakers, this, that, the other. Lo and behold, it was a little bit more intricate, and so they called Tony. So Tony comes in. He should have had like a big lightning bolt, in a cape. But he came in, he took care of the issue, put my mind at ease, and the bishop came, and nobody was the wiser, and everything went off fantastically. I'm sure, there was other stuff that he was doing, but it was just, like I said, nobody was the wiser. And I thank him for helping me, do my job, and You're welcome.
Towards Tony D'Angelo today.
There you go.
Come on, girl. I want a piece of this action.
Everybody here again, we're ready, 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
Can I take a picture of you with him?
Sure.
I don't know how, but
It's a new competency, Gary.
Make sure you get my head.
Gary's a critic.
Okay, so thank you so much, gentlemen. Thanks, Tony. And each month we have a special accolade for our 5-star patient safety heroes. So every morning in the huddle, Ruth waits for a patient safety story. Usually she's not waiting too long because there are many, many that happen each and every day here. Good catches and people with a questioning attitude and truly bring issues forward to make sure we keep our patients safe and that we thank each other for the cross-check. So with that, I'd like to invite Kathy DiBenedetto, who was the nominator for Alyssa Policastro, and if Alyssa could join us as well. Alyssa is from Queens.
So it was one evening, and I get a call from bed placement to tell me that there's a patient on 3 South that they placed on quarantine. So I investigated the story, and they would tell me that Alyssa, who was reassigned from pediatrics to 3 South, was doing an admission on a patient who had fallen at home. And she was telling Alyssa that she just came back from Florida 7 days ago, and her husband was at home with a fever and not feeling well. And they didn't follow the travel advice because they drove. So nobody is really monitoring that. So Alyssa's quick thinking that she was maybe he has COVID, and this patient was could be exposed. She went right to the charge nurse. They placed the patient on quarantine. 4 days later, this patient tested positive for COVID. So you did the right thing. You saved other patients from being possibly exposed, as well as staff. So you did a wonderful job, Alyssa, and I have to say thank you so much.
again?
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Are they turn yet? Alyssa, hold on to your certificate. Yeah, there you go. Let go, Kathy.
Let it go, Kathy.
Good, one more, ready? All right, good.
Alyssa's mother is a nurse at St. Catherine's, and her family runs angiotests. So Alyssa comes from a long line of extremely caring, wonderful, wonderful people, and it's always my pleasure when I see you that you came from your mom. She's amazing.
Okay, so what I also like to read each month is Marie Burke puts together cards, letters, things that Ruth maybe received or Gara. So I'd like to just read you and share some of those good news stories that a physician had written in, came in for a BAM treatment and raved about the nursing care. And I was in such when I was in such distress, 5 seconds, I was being hooked up to the infusion, and the actions were quick and swift. And this person, they talked about an Ashley Esser, who's a nurse, literally saved my life. Is she here? Yeah? Oh, did she? So it was, I guess, on January 1st when this physician came in for his COVID exposure. But because she was so quick to respond, and he was having a reaction to this drip, that they immediately stopped it. And of course, this physician was quite astute, knowing what it took to do that. Very different story when you become patient and your life is in the hands of your nurse. So bravo to her. From writing to Dr. Cow, actually, thank you so much for the care you've given me. I am very grateful to you. Thank you for your joy, which I thought was just a beautiful thing to write about someone. And from our Breast Health Center, a nurse navigator, I never knew what that was, but now I know what you do, and it's an amazing job, and it really helps women cope with this devastating diagnosis. Navigators are a true credit to the profession. I will be eternally grateful for all that you have done coming into my life. Tumaine received a card. Want to take a moment to personally thank you for the care you gave to my grandfather. You were amazing. I couldn't have done it better myself. You treated us like we were your own. I know that your job is probably physically and mentally exhausting day in and day out. You work so hard to give it your all. You do the best you can for your patients. I want you to know it didn't go unnoticed. My family and I are forever grateful for you. Really beautiful things, folks. This patient writes in, I gave your staff a hard time. It was anesthesia that did it. It put me out of my mind. But I'm happy to say the surgery was successful, and thanks to you, I have recovered. A SICU staff, they received some edible arrangements. SICU and neuro teams expressing gratitude for all the work you do, your excellent care. There's not enough room on this message to say all the right words to possibly express how grateful we are. And to SICU again, thanks so much for taking great care of my dad. I'm a nurse at Southside, and when the situation is reversed and your loved one is in the hospital, it's terrifying. It's comforting to know he's in such good hands. Thank you for all you do every single day and night. And I was recently a patient in the cardiac cath unit. I had 2 procedures performed that day. I want to tell you, everyone I encountered from admission to discharge were pleasant and helpful. I want to acknowledge Madison Bayer in particular, attentive, friendly, informative, and responsive no matter the request. Her entire demeanor helped to make my experience that much more tolerable. Please extend my appreciation to Madison and your entire team. I want to take an opportunity again to recognize the NICU staff for being pleasant, great help for me and my son, who was born back in October, stayed in the NICU for a week. Life has prevented me from emailing earlier, but I didn't want to miss the chance in congratulating the staff and wishing everyone a happy new year. I did complete the survey and mailed it in about a month ago. And let's see. This patient called into Pat Ferguson that he was treated so well by staff, including nurses, doctors, food service, housekeeping. Everyone was wonderful. He wanted to congratulate us for a wonderful job. He received such terrific treatment with such professionalism. Please let your staff know they are all healers, angels, caregivers, and healers. really nice things, ladies and gentlemen. He specifically mentioned this particular patient that called, through Emily actually in administration, accolades to say how incredibly kind and wonderful everyone was. This was in the radiology department, and he appreciated the time and care everyone gave him to address all of his concerns. And then additional person who had some surgery and a very talented obstetrician mentioning Dr. Sampino. Every single staff member I encountered was wonderful. And Barbara wrote us from over in home care when a number of our staff, Lisa Farrell, Terry Ann, the Barbara Reggione team, had helped them with setting up the hospital at home, and it took a lot of training and a lot of patience. And our colleague from home care and hospice was forever grateful because we really gave them a wonderful opportunity to learn a new skill and really did it with great professionalism, and they really appreciated the camaraderie. We had a wonderful midwinter cool down, if you will, compliments of Ruth, and we were out there serving up Sundays, so hopefully in the last couple of weeks staff got a chance. I know we had a great time with the staff celebrating that. In addition, we want to thank our brand ambassadors, because many, including Rich Helm, who is donning, we went from identifying our brand ambassadors as such to now the big reveal. The big reveal is in fact this new logo, and hence the mask. So our brand ambassadors have been marked as such. Hopefully you have received or will receive the In Good Faith at Home, explaining all the meaning behind the new symbol, and how we're trying to organize ourselves in a way that we have a consistent message and so forth. So hopefully you will take some time to read through that. It's a really nice piece.
Did everybody get the bag?
Yeah.
Everybody got the bag. Yeah.
And right, a bag of goodies mailed home, so hopefully you guys have all received that. So please watch for regular information as we continue to roll out and change signage and so forth. So an exciting time for now Catholic Health. And additionally, just a reminder, it is Go Red and Wear Red for Women's Heart Health this month. So keep that in mind to take good care of you and all those women in your life as we get through our winter and graciously look forward to the spring. So again, our accolades to our D unit, to Trish Foley, Alyssa, our patient safety heroes, to Tony. We really appreciate everything you guys do, whether we're there to watch it but we know what's going on. And we really do appreciate it. So you're doing all the right things when nobody is watching. So, but hopefully we get a chance. And as we go into the Super Bowl weekend, I have to make note. Kathy DiBenedetto did the greatest prepare for the Super Bowl, staying at home and don't go to parties or host parties piece ever. So it went out to all email users today. So let's be smart and be safe this weekend because we really do want to move into spring and be healthy. So do take care, everybody, and we'll see you next month. Congratulations,
Thank you, Lori. Did you not get your bag?
No, I did switch my address at like